What's up, guys? Time Jim here. I'm going to bring you this video in response to ComicsExplained's video on Infinity War and why he thinks it's going to change everything now. I'm going to give you a moment to click on his video, go watch it, and then come back and listen to what I have to say. Alright, so I'm assuming you watched the video already and that you're ready to hear, what I have to say about this. Before I get into my response, I want to step back a little bit and I want to say some things about the previous movies before Infinity War. Now, I was watching all three Captain America movies yesterday because of 4th of July. Captain America patriotic, be awesome type of thing, Now, during Captain America Civil War, Thunderbolt Ross asked Captain America, when in the scene where they're talking about the Sokovia Accords and this and that, after what happened, during that whole first scene, Ross asked Captain America, "Do you know where Thor is? Do you know where the Hulk is?" And Captain America, he gave this face like, "What? I don't know. I don't know where they're at." With the announcement of Thor Ragnarok, we now know that Hulk and Thor are fighting, in the Red King arena, and it's basically a combination between Thor Ragnarok and Planet Hulk, basically. But the question that was brought up in my mind was, when does Thor Ragnarok actually take place? Because during the end credit scenes or the mid credit scenes in Doctor Strange, we see Thor with his haircut already, and and talking to Doctor Strange, and basically Doctor Strange says, I'm gathering everybody, telling this and that, whatever was going on. And I'm thinking, okay, so now I got to take another step back, because when does Doctor Strange take place? Because in Doctor Strange, yes, the Avengers were mentioned, but in no place did they mention Sokovia or mention the Civil War that happened between the heroes, or about the Sokovia Accords. They didn't mention any of that. It also backtracks further into Captain America: Winter Soldier, where Hydra said they were eyeing Doctor Strange. So where does all these movies take place? I think Marvel needs to have an official timeline out. They need to be more specific, have more clarification as to where these movies fit in the timeline. More specifically, these later movies, because I think there's some confusion, at least in my mind. I don't know if there's any really official timeline out there that Marvel has put out. I'm not aware of it, but if there is, feel free to let me know. But I personally have not seen it, and I would love to see them clarify where the movies fit. When did they happen in sequence? And that would explain a lot to me, and that would help, on my mind, help a lot into moving forward into Infinity War, because now that we know all the information, we can get a better picture of who's all there and why, and where all this is happening on screen, why all this happened, instead of just the overall arching thing of Thanos having the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Gems. So now that I got that all out, so where do I think Infinity War is gonna go after, or Marvel Studios, I should say, is gonna go after Infinity War? And that's a very good question. There's a lot of possibilities, and Rob from ComicsExplained gave a few examples, but he also gave good reasons why there's stories that won't work. They won't work. But here's a story arc from the comics that I think will work, and I think it's going to be, in my mind, is the only obvious choice and the only obvious answer, because in my mind, there's really nowhere else the movie studio can go from here. And that is, drumroll please, the only possible choice is time runs out. And the reason for this, well, hold on, let me explain. I can probably already hear some people clicking their keyboards away. Like, Time Gem, you're mad. Why would they want to do Time Runs Out? Very simple. Infinity War, like Rob said, is going to be huge. It's going to be gigantic. It's going to be probably the biggest movie that Marvel Studios, or any movie studio for that matter, is going to ever try to attempt to do. It's going to be the biggest. It's going to have a bunch of superheroes fighting basically a god. And it's going to just blow everybody's minds. But here's the thing. Where do they go from there? Every other movie afterwards that's going to come out after Infinity War is going to pale in comparison to Infinity War. That movie is going to be set so high, no other movie is going to be able to reach it. So what do you do then? Well, you wipe the slate clean. You start over from scratch. Time Runs Out would be the perfect thing, because, see, here's this thing. You have a being on a cosmic scale, okay, that can do anything. It can wipe out entire planets, entire galaxies, whatever. But the limitation with the Infinity Gauntlet is only limited to the universe that it's in. Basically the 616 or whatever numerical number that the MCU is in. So, with that being said, now that the multiverse has been established in the MCU, they can do Time Runs Out with all the universes basically die. They can start over again and start with new, fresh faces. Now, Robert Downey Jr. is not getting any younger. He's going to need to be replaced sooner or later. Even though he is, he is Iron Man basically. No one can ever take that away from him. But I can see where like studios like Fox are going with the Dark Phoenix saga. These actors aren't getting any younger. They're going to need to reboot the franchise, reboot these characters anyway. Now, I don't like the idea of them doing the Dark Phoenix saga again, because they've already done a Dark Phoenix saga story. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying they should rehash old stories and tell them over again. That just doesn't make any sense logically. In my mind, well, at least for me, origin stories that are done over and over and over and over and over again, kind of roll your eyes like, oh, here we go again with another origin story. Oh, Uncle Ben gets killed again. Oh, Bruce's parents die again. Oh, it really doesn't hold any weight anymore. I think what they need to do, basically, wipe the slate clean, assume everybody knows this origin story like they're doing for Homecoming, and just tell a good story, basically. So, what can they do from there? Well, like I said, they can have brand new actors, and for certain roles, for certain characters. But what they could also do, just like how Marvel is doing right now, they can pluck characters and actors from the old universe, put them in this new universe, and be like, wait, this isn't the universe I'm used to. What is going on here? And sort of evolve in that mystery and sort of evolve that mythos. Like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, these characters aren't part of this universe. They're trying to figure things out. Where's this going to head to? And I think that would be a great direction to go. My opinion, this sounds like an insanely crazy idea. Yes, I know, but I think that's where they should go. Again, I'm not a studio head. I'm not whatever. I don't think Marvel's going to listen to me or doesn't even know I exist. But I think that'd be a cool place. I think it would also give them time to sort of, for lack of a better term, sort of figure what they want to do with Sony, and sort of lay the groundwork on basically what they want to do with all these franchises, these Spider-Man franchises, how they're going to cross over into the Marvel Universe. Basically give them time to, no pun intended, but give them more time to sort of clarify to the public, okay, this is what we're doing now, with everybody, get on the same page and go from there. I sincerely think that would be the best idea. Plus, if they could, with the multiverse thing, they can, take hints at maybe Spider-Verse, have Miles Morales in there, have Spider-Gwen in there, do Superior Spider-Man. They could also do, have other villains, like, put Hobgoblin in there, Mysterio in there, Shocker. There's a ton of Spider-Man villains they can go with, but I think having that rebooted, fresh idea, rebooted universe, it'd be a better idea to put them all in there after the universe is rebooted, not just the Spider-Man movies in general, just the universe as a whole. Is it a good idea? Do I think it's a good idea? Excuse me. Do I think it's a good idea to reboot a movie when it's already been rebooted so many times? Probably not. But that's what I'm saying. Like, have Tom Holland still be Spider-Man. Remember what happened in the other universe, and be like, "You're not my Iron Man. You're not my idol that I look up to," or "You're not the Captain America that I remember." That type of thing. I just think that would be a great idea. So, another reason why I think Time Runs Out would be a fantastic idea is that Time Runs Out was a. I mean, my thought was a very well thought out storyline. Also, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people liked it a lot. As a matter of fact, the omnibus that just got released for the Avengers for Hickman and all this leading to Time Runs Out is going fast on IST. A lot of people are talking about it. So, in my opinion, that would be the best idea, because you know how Marvel and Fox and whatever, they like to do really popular stories. Why not do this? This is a very popular story. I think it would sell well. I think it would get a lot of people's attention. And even though Marvel doesn't have a lot of the rights to Beast and Reed Richards and that, but there's ways around it. They've had Captain America as part of the Illuminati before. They've had other people part of the Illuminati before. They can get around it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jim, what about Secret Wars? In my mind, they can't do it. Because here's the thing. Like I said, like I mentioned with the characters. Marvel doesn't have a rights to those characters. So doing a Secret Wars wouldn't be the next step. Because they don't have the rights, and it wouldn't be the same. Also, Marvel tends to kill off their villains a lot. So doing the Secret Wars, not the Hickman one, but the other one with the Beyonder, it wouldn't work, because there'd be so many less villains for them to fight, and it'd just be basically Civil War 2. I don't think that would fly. Doing the multiverse one, though, I could see it probably happening, but then again, Doom isn't part of the MCU. Finding someone else to take his place, that'd be very difficult, because no one is, in my mind, no, they're probably gonna kill Thanos. Doom isn't available, so who else would they use next? There's really no one is really well established as Doom, in my opinion, and Thanos, in my opinion. So finding someone else to take their place, it wouldn't cut it for me, and I don't think that would happen. So yeah, guys, that's it. Those were my thoughts about Infinity War and what I think is going to happen, and my response to Rob and his video. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm doing a haul video very soon.